Hello, good afternoon, student. My name is Hiral Raval. Today's date 15 December 2020, Tuesday. Standard 8th subject Science. Chapter number 17 Stars and the Solar Systems. In previous lecture, we have viewed the night sky picture. Then we have studied the celestial object. What is celestial object? So the stars, the planets, the moon and many other objects in the sky are called celestial object. Then we have discussed the moon. Is there a change in the shape of moon every day? Yes. So we have drawn the diagram of phases of the moon. Then we have performed one activity, activity 17.2, and we know that moon is visible due to reflected sunlight. Then we perform another activity, the moon appears different at different position in its orbit. This is the beautiful diagram of positions of the moon in its orbit and its corresponding phases. Then we have studied the moon's surface. There are many craters in the moon's surface. What is craters? So the craters are as a depth, the highest mountain on the earth. Science surface of the moon. The moon has no atmosphere. It has no water. Then we have studied an astronaut Neil Armstrong landed on the moon for the first time. Then we have studied the stars. There are various stars in the moon. The sun is the biggest star. There are various stars in the universe. Then we conclude the unit light year. What is light year? So it is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. Remember that the speed of light is about 3 lakhs km per second. Okay. Then we perform another activity, activity 17.5. In this activity we have shown that pole star does not appear to move. जो पोलर स्टार्स होते हैं वो मूव नहीं करते हैं. The pole stars lies close to the axis of rotations of the earth. Then we have studied the constellations. What is constellations? So the stars forming a group that has a recognizable shape is called constellations. There are many constellations in the sky. I have given homework for you, that Great Bear, Orion, Cassiopeia and Leo Major. Okay. Many of the students send me a video of these homeworks and draw the diagram. Very good. Well done, students. Then first picture. This is Ursa Major. The Ursa Major is seen in the summertime, in the early part of the night. It is also known as the Big Dipper, the Great Bear or the Saptarishi. There are 7 prominent stars in these constellations. It appears like a big ladle or a question mark. There are 3 stars in the handle of the ladle and 4 in its bowl. This is the activity 17.6 and 17.7. Observe the constellations for a few hours. Do you find any change in its shapes? Do you find any change in its positions? Yes, you will observe that the shape of the constellations remains the same. You will also find that the constellations appears to move in the sky from east to west. I have heard that we can locate the pole stars with the help of Ursa Major. Here activity 17.7. This activity should be performed on a clear moonless night during summer at about 9 pm. Look towards the northern part of the sky and identify Ursa Major. You may get help from elders in your family. Look at the two stars at the end of Ursa Major. Imagine a straight line passing through these stars as shown in figure 17.13. Extend this imaginary line towards the north directions, about 5 times the distance between the two stars. This line will lead to star which is not too bright. This is the pole star. Observe the pole star from some time. Note that it does not move at all as other stars differ from east to west. This is the diagram of polar star and this is the Ursa Major. Moves around the pole stars. This diagram shows that Ursa Majors. So my today's homework, draw the diagram of Ursa Major. Ursa Major moves around the pole star. Then another activity 17.8. During a summer night, observe Ursa Major 3 to 4 times at an interval of 2 to 3 hours. Also locate the pole star each time. Does Ursa Major appear to move from east to west? Does it appear to revolve around the pole star? Compare your observations with those in figure. In fact, all the stars appear to revolve around the pole star. Note that the pole star is not visible from the southern hemisphere. Some of the northern constellations like Ursa Major may also not be visible from some points in the southern hemisphere. Orion is another well-known constellation that can be seen during winter in the late evening. देखो सबसे पहले हमने कौन से constellations के बारे में देखा? We have studied the Ursa Major. This is seen in the summer time. Then another constellation there is a Orion, and this is seen during the winter in the late evening. So अभी okay student, अभी आप देख सकते हो. In the winter, a late evening. It is one of the most magnificent constellations in the sky. It also has 7 or 8 bright stars. Orion is also called the Hunter. The 3 middle stars represent the belt of the Hunter. The 4 bright stars appears to the arranged in the form of quadrilateral. क्वाड्रिलेटरल मीन्स के 4 स्केप में हम देख सकते हैं. दिस इज द डायग्राम ऑफ हंटर. दिस इज द ओके द स्टार सीरियस और साइरियस which is Sirius, okay, which is the brightest star in the sky, is located close to Hunter, close to Orion, okay. To locate the Sirius, imagine a straight line passing through the 3 middle stars of Orion. Look along this middle towards the east. इस जो है डायरेक्शन में उसमें आपको आगे बढ़ना है. मिडल में देखो यहाँ पे टोटल 3 स्टार्स है. यू सी दिस इज द 3 स्टार्स ऑफ द मिडल एंड दिस डायग्राम इज लाइक अ हंटर एंड इस डायरेक्शन हमें मिलेगा वो सीरीज. ओके, दिस लाइन विल लीड यू टू अ वेरी ब्राइट स्टार. इट इज सीरीज. देन कैसोपिया is another prominent constellation in the northern sky. It is visible during winter in the early part of the night. It looks like a distorted letter of W or M. Okay, W और M की तरह हम देख सकते हैं. Cassiopeia is another prominent constellation. First Ursa Major, second Orion, then third is Cassiopeia. वो हमें नॉर्थर्न स्काई में देखने को मिलता है. इट इज़ विजिबल ड्यूरिंग विंटर इन द अर्ली पार्ट ऑफ द नाइट. ओके, ये भी हमें विंटर पे देखने को मिलता है बट अर्ली पार्ट ऑफ द नाइट. और जो ओरियन है वो लेट नाइट को देखने को मिलता है. इट लुक्स लाइक अ डिस्टोर्टेड लेटर W और M. ओके, डिड यू नो अ constellations does not have only 5 to 10 stars. It has a large number of stars. However, we can see only the bright stars in a constellations with our naked eye. All the stars which make up a constellations are not at the same distance. Okay, distance between two stars are not same. They are just in the same line of sight in the sky. जो हम डायरेक्शंस जो बताते हैं, जो इसकी लाइन बताते हैं वो सेम होती है बट डिस्टेंस इज नॉट सेम. Then this is the solar system. The sun and the celestial bodies which revolve around it form the solar systems. It consists of large number of bodies such as planets, comets, asteroids, and meteoroids. The gravitational attractions between the sun and this object keeps them revolving around it. The earth, as you know, also revolves around the sun. It is a member of the solar system. It is a planet. There are 7 other planets that revolve around the sun. The 8 planets in their order of distance from the sun are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. This is the diagram of the solar system. Draw the label diagram of solar system in your class work. In the middle we have seen the biggest stars, sun. Then first orbit में Venus and Mercury, second orbit में Earth, third orbit Mars, fourth orbit Jupiter, sixth orbit Saturn and seventh orbit Uranus. Figure 17.17 shows a schematic view of solar systems. I had read that there are 9 planets in the solar systems. Pujo questions in his mind. I had read that there are 9 planets in the solar systems. Did you know? Till 2006, there were 9 planets in the solar system. Pluto was the farthest planet from the sun. एकदम दूर था. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union IAU, the full form of IAU is International Astronomical Union, adopted a new definition of a planet. Pluto does not fit this definition. It is no longer a planet of the solar system. Let us know about some members of the solar family. So let's start. The first, the sun. The sun is the nearest star from us. It is continuously emitting huge amounts of heat and light. The sun is the source of almost all energy on the earth. In fact, the sun is the main source of heat and light for all the planets. So the planets. Second, the planets look like stars, but they do not have light of their own. They merely reflect the sunlight that falls on them. Can you distributions between planets and stars? Yes. Stars are twinkling and planets are steady. The simplest method of identifying planets from stars is that stars twinkle wherever planets do not. Also, the planets keep changing their positions with respect to the stars, but stars are steady. Okay, a planet has keep changing their positions with respect to the star. A planet has a definite path in which it revolves around the sun. This path is called an orbit. So this is the definitions of orbit. A planet has a definite path in which it revolves around the sun. So this path is called an orbit. The time taken by a planet to complete one revolution is called its period of revolutions. The period of revolutions increases as the distance of the planet increases from the sun. I wondered why the planets do not collide while revolving around the sun. I wonder, उसको आश्चर्य हुआ. I wonder why the planets do not collide while revolving around the sun. Here activity 17.9. Go out into the playground with 4 or 5 of your friends. Draw 4 circles of radii 1 meter, 1.8 meter, 2.5 meter and 3.8 meter, all having a common center. Ask one of your friends to stand in the center and represent the sun. एक जो फ्रेंड्स है वो बीच में रहेगा, वो सन बनेगा. ठीक है, ये एक्टिविटी आप कर सकते हो स्टूडेंट. Ask one of your friends to stand in the center and represent the sun. Your other 4 friends may represent Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. ओके, ऐसे टैगिंग आपको कर देना है. Ask your friends to move around the sun in anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise move करना है सबको. In their own orbits. Do they collide with one another? वो जो है वो कोलाइड होते एक दूसरे से नहीं होंगे. Besides revolving around the sun, a planet also rotates on its own axis. प्लेनेट जो है वो अपने ओन एक्सिस पे भी जो रोटेट होते हैं और जो ऑर्बिट है उसके ऊपर भी रोटेट होते होते आगे जाते हैं. बिकॉज सन इज स्टेडी. Besides revolving around the sun, a planet also rotates on its own axis, like a top. The time taken by a planet to complete one rotation is called its period of rotations. Some planets are known to have moons, satellites revolving around them. Any celestial body revolving around another celestial body is called its satellite. Paheli questions in his mind. The earth revolves around the sun. Does it make earth a satellite of the sun? Earth a satellite of the sun? No. Here the activity show. See the activity. देखो अर्थ जो है वो घूम रहा है. देन मर्क्यूरी अपनी ऑर्बिट पे है, वीनस अपनी ऑर्बिट पे है और मार्स जो है वो अपनी ऑर्बिट पे है. सेम जो स्टेप वाइज वो लोग जैसे धीरे धीरे ऐसे चलेंगे तो कभी वो लोग कोलाइड नहीं होंगे. तो ये क्वेश्चन है कि ऑर्बिट जो है वो सामने सामने जो कभी कभी प्लेनेट से वो कोलाइड हो जाते हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं होता है. प्लेनेट्स मूव इन देयर ओन ऑर्बिट्स. ओके, तो आज के होमवर्क में मैंने आपको दिखाया. वैसे आपको ओरियन जो है ओरियन का जो डायग्राम है, फिर द सोलर सिस्टम जो है उसका डायग्राम ड्रॉ करना है। देन ये जो है वो लोकेटिंग सीरीज डब्ल्यू जो है कैसोपिया का जो डायरेक्ट, तो देयर आर मैनी कॉन्स्टलेशंस इन द अर्थ। दिस इज़ द पोलर स्टार। ऑलरेडी ये जो डायग्राम है वो हमने ड्रॉ किए थे, ग्रेट बियर, ओरियन, कैसोपिया एंड लियो मेजर। ओके, तो 3 के बारे में हमने पढ़ा, ग्रेट बियर, ओरियन एंड कैसोपिया। ओके, सोलर सिस्टम का डायग्राम बनाना है और ये उर्सा मेजर का बनाना है। ठीक है, ओके स्टूडेंट, थैंक यू।